I'd been meaning to watch the Willoughbys for a while, basically because it kept coming up as a recommendation on Netflix. Finally, I caved and watched it, and actually, I am undecided about how I feel. There are bits of this that I really enjoyed, there are things about it that I didn't. When I watch a film for the first time, I like to predict what the IMDb overall score would be, and I actually thought the score for this would be quite low. But it's 6.4 out of 10 across 14,500 reviews, so that's pretty decent. It's got a Metascore of 68, which, for a Metascore, is really quite impressive. So, I think, certainly it's well received more than I thought. I liked it more than I thought, but it's still not perfect. So this was released in 2020, last year, and it's directed by Kris, Pearn and Corey Evans, and the voice cast is brilliant. So we have Will Forte as Tim, Maya Rudolph as Nanny, Alessia Cara as Jane, and Terry Crews as Commander Melanoff. I love Terry Crews. We also have Martin Short and Jane Krakowski as father and mother. I'm a big fan of Krakowski. And our narrator is Ricky Gervais as a cat. And I have to say, when we were first introduced to the cat within the first few minutes, and the cat pointed out something like, yes, I'm the narrator and I'm a cat, get over it. And I just thought, that's it. That's us set up for the humour and for the tone of this. And I quite enjoyed that moment. Having it narrated by a cat it's an interesting concept. And it's actually quite cleverly done. I'll discuss what it's actually about in a moment. But, the cat observes this house and observes what goes on inside this house. But then there's action away from this house. But to make it believable that the cat could still narrate this, the cat just turns up in these random places. And I thought that was, clever, because a lot of films would that'd be an oversight. And the narrator would still narrate it without ever could have possibly been known what was happening in that thing. That sentence made no sense whatsoever. But hopefully you know what I mean. Basically, this is about 4 children, the Willoughbys, Tim, Jane, Barnaby, and Barnaby. Yes, the twins are both called Barnaby. And their parents don't care about them. Their parents are selfish. They see the children as a burden, and they decide to send their parents away so that they can become orphans and find a better family. To be honest, it sounded better than the execution. The first maybe 15 minutes or so was my favourite. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the setting up, getting to know the characters. The parents were a lot harsher than I imagined for a PG film. They are brutal. And the children obviously take it upon themselves to sort things out after they randomly receive a baby one day on their doorstep. And this little baby Ruth is an interesting character, an interesting choice. And after that point, I think the narrative kind of fell apart a little bit. And then we're introduced to the character of the nanny, voiced by Maya Rudolph. Really interesting character, quite likeable. A lot of funny dialogue comes from this character. And the role she plays is obviously quite important. And she's there when the children are learning about what it means to be part of a family, because all they've ever known is, well, I guess the antithesis of family life. So the narrative itself is pretty alright, but I think sometimes it just loses direction. I think it's a little bit up and down, back and forth, and I think there are certain scenes that just went on for too long, and there were scenes that I really enjoyed that felt like they could have been longer, but that's just probably because I was enjoying them. So the narrative, yeah, it's up and down. The animation style, I really enjoy. The pink hair that's obviously made of like wool is just absolutely brilliant. I love the design of the Barnabys. They are creepy and adorable at the same time. Tim has massive ears, which sounds like a random thing, but it's just, they all have these little quirky things about them, and, visually it's a really cute film. I haven't seen any merchandise for the Willoughbys, but I imagine if it did well, there could be some plushes and pencil cases with their features on. Very recognisable style. I think it works, and the fact that they all have pink hair Ready Pink. It works, really well. The animation style is something I really enjoyed. So, although I don't rate it as highly as it is on IMDb and certainly Metacritic, The Willoughbys is better than I expected. I'm slightly glad that Netflix kept pushing it at me, because, I finally watched it and I can say I've seen it, and that's something that's good. But it's not amazing. Definitely give it a watch if you like animations. I think children will enjoy it. There are a lot of bright colours. There is a bit of humour in there. Humour that would appeal to a lot of people, I think. So, yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Not my favourite, but I'm glad I watched it.